There we go.
So we'll just explain that we went into executive session first.
Right.
Yes.
Now we're proceeding.
We adjusted the agenda for executive session first. All right. We are at approving minutes of November 20th meeting. And I had noticed, and I emailed Marty, and she just reworded under select board reports the last paragraph. I think it said all members, and I just, for accuracy, I put some members. That was acceptable. And then culverts was misspelled. And I got that. What was it called?
Culvers, I forgot the T.
Culvers. It sounds like Elvers or something. So those are the two that we changed. I signed this one. Oh, that's okay.
Yeah. I make a motion. Did you already?
No, go for it.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes as written. Second.
All right, all in favor? All right, we don't have any public comment?
No,
No,
we have no
okay.
public.
All right. Town manager report.
All right. I only have a few things that are not on the agenda. Most of my updates are on the agenda. But to start, they worked to replace the dry hydrant down at the boat launch this week. They had to remove a tree that they plan on coming back in the springtime to replant. And they're gonna put hay and everything down and then cover it, or they may already have done this, and then cover it with snow, and then in the springtime come back and make sure that everything looks good and is back up to par. So we were able to, that process took a little bit more time because like everything else, there's not a folder that says dry hydrant and with all the permits and everything that was pulled originally. So we ended up having to go to the company that originally wrote the permits up the first time, have them sent to us, and then Corinne, Phil's wife, was actually kind enough to go through the whole permitting process for us. So that was very nice. Through DEP and all the other people that we had to get permits for. So as far as I know, they completed that yesterday. They had the majority of it done on Tuesday, and they just had to weld the head onto the top yesterday. So there's that. And then last month, I forgot to mention this, I believe. So when I came back from vacation, I attended a drainage class, and they had somebody there that they manufacture culverts, and so like that's what they do, and they do installs, and so they have created this new technique that basically, what did they call it? They basically take a different culvert and slide it into the old culvert, and then like put this special kind of, I want to call it spray foam because that's kind of what it looks like, but it's like grout that goes around the inside. And these culverts, when they're last just as long as a new culvert would. I actually reached out to the guy that taught the class to get this guy's number or email contact information, and he just emailed it back to me today. So I'm going to reach out to him to see if that would be an option for the Gully Brook Bridge, because these slide-in are about half the cost of a full replacement. I don't know if it would be an option or not, but I just figured, get him down here, let him look at it. Maybe he has a completely different idea, because all he does all around New England is put in culverts.
Elena,
oh, no, that's okay. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, that's interesting because sometime in the last year, I had heard UMO 3D printer. There was a news article about they were making inserts or something that sounds like that for culverts, and I don't know if it's the same thing or something different, but
So
Yeah,
that-
yeah,
That technology's been around for a long time with plumbing.
okay,
It's more or less they inject a liner into it and it's got an epoxy resin and it's pushed through and it looks like a big saw, more or
Yeah.
less, and it just pushes it through. And when it pushes it through, it blows it up and it forms to the pipe.
so it doesn't really, well, and the Gully Brook one is, I mean, it's
It's not
big, it's
really-
not gonna restrict the flow because it's,
That would be something they would probably have to look at, but
yeah,
the fact that it's not a fully round culvert,
yeah, right,
because it's only like a 3/4 culvert and then it's got the flat.
right,
roof.
it's an arch.
right. That's definitely something to look into though, if that,
Yeah.
and if they could put, what do you call those, barriers on the sides of the road, that would be really great.
Right. And he actually showed some different examples of some of the projects that he's done around Maine, and some of them are very similar to Gully Brook Bridge, and they actually like extended it a little bit so that the bank didn't just go straight down, it kind of tapered off, and then they kind of put like a, what did they call it, a face around the culvert, so there was like a head wall, that's what they called it, a head wall, so that it wasn't just a straight down embankment, it was kind of tapered and then had, guardrails kind of on the side of that. So I figured it couldn't hurt to just reach out to him and see if he can come look at it. And like, they do all kinds of different culvert
Yeah,
installation. So I figured if that kind doesn't work, then at least having his area of expertise to kind of, because the only quote that we've ever received is for $250,000, and if we can have somebody that can think outside of the box a little bit, maybe there's some more cost effective ways to get it fixed. So I just
Perfect.
wanted to mention that.
okay, where's he from again?
I cannot remember the name of the company,
That's
but
okay.
it's in my email, and I can forward that along to you guys.
I was just curious.
And then I just wanted to mention that the road committee will be meeting in January to start the process of budgeting and coming up with what we would like to do for the next year. And I've been starting to do some of the, I call it road mapping, but like actually laying out what we've gone and measured so that it's like almost like a blueprint of the road, where the culvert is, how the ditches are and whatnot. I even have marked where tree trimming needs to take place in some of the areas. Some of the areas I kind of forgot about the whole tree trimming thing because we were so engrossed in like the culverts and the ditching and stuff. But that's a very minor piece to the puzzle. So that's that. And then the last thing actually two things. I'm not sure if you guys got the Maine Town and City from last month, or it might even been, I think it was last month. They actually wrote a whole article on Monson. So if you wanted to, it's also on the MMA website. So if you wanted to go on there and read kind of the nice little story that they put together about Monson.
Cool.
John Simcoe actually brought me a couple of copies to keep so that I would have my own little souvenir.
Huh.
And then the last thing that I kind of wanted to talk about was the CEO position. When it was posted in the Eastern Gazette, it happened to be the last week that the Eastern Gazette will ever be published. So I'm looking for some ideas as to where else we can post it to kind of get it out to people other than sending like a postcard to every person. Like I know that Marty and I reached out to, what is it, the Moosehead Journal or something
Yeah.
in Greenville. And they publish every 2 weeks. So that's an option there. We reached out to the woman that runs that. So any other ideas, suggestions as to where we can post that to try to get it to reach more people?
Is the Observer still?
Yeah, are they expensive, the
They're
Observer?
very expensive, that's why we don't use them.
Yeah.
And I don't know if the Observer goes, if they still print, or if they just are online now. I'm not.
They're still in print, cause I see it
Oh, okay.
Store.
in the store, yeah.
Okay.
Maybe something that as we move through this process, that at some point we have to bite the bullet and spend the money to advertise in one of the publications that
The
actually
MMA
still.
site too, you can post
Right.
things like that.
Yeah, it might be
How many
worth it.
Average Joes will see that,
Maybe
but
somebody's gonna move here to be CEO.
maybe,
No,
Do we have it on the town Facebook?
yep, and the
Yeah.
website.
Yep.
Maybe,
How about a big sign out front?
well, that
CEO
might be,
Pines Eye.
Not a
to
bad
consider,
Or-
hanging just a flyer at the post office or
Yeah.
something, just so then everybody sees it, well, a lot of people.
I mean, we could even,
That's a good
seriously,
idea.
sign, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't think
Okay.
that's a good idea. I mean, we have a lot of traffic through town. Might be worthwhile.
Yeah, plain road.
I was
Okay.
talking to somebody last night at this function we had to go to in Greenville, because they have a new CEO. And I was saying we were looking for a CEO, and he was asking me, you know, is it full-time or whatever, and I was kind of mentioning, you know, the pay and all and stipend, and they're paying their new guy 60 grand a year. I was like,
Well, what
Yeah.
they're on up there is way different. than
way
what we
different,
get.
right? Yeah. Yeah, I don't think he'll have any extra time to come down this way, but I asked.
Yeah, definitely the CEO position is changing everywhere because they're all running into the same things. I mean, I say it a million times, we have been blessed with Brian Turner for so long that replacing him has proven to be extremely difficult because it's just people don't work for what is available. And, you know, I think we'll be lucky to find somebody. It's just, you know, it's for somebody that's like in the retired position, like has a little bit of time on their hands to do this kind of stuff. But then, you know, when you're retired, do you really want to go and open that can of worms? And then, you know, the CEO position is just getting more and more in depth, I think, just like any other municipal job or job in general. But yeah, so those are pretty good suggestions, and I guess we'll start there and see where it goes. And then, oh, sorry.
Your leads didn't work out, right?
So what was that?
You had a couple of leads on that position, but they
Yeah,
didn't.
yeah, I had somebody that was supposed to come meet me, and then the day that they were supposed to come meet me, they never showed up, and then I called and left them a voicemail, and they never called me back. So I'm assuming that they changed their mind, unfortunately. So yeah, so that's all I had for my town manager report. That's not on the agenda.
Okay. I know budget reports on the agenda.
Oh yeah.
We don't have it, but is there anything noteworthy to mention?
I didn't see anything that jumped out at me. I just went through it and made sure like all of the percentages, nothing stuck out like crazy, like, oh my gosh, that shouldn't be there. And then I printed out my budget worksheet to start going through that a little bit more. And when I did that, nothing jumped out as being crazy.
Okay.
One thing I did hear through the proverbial grapevine about the CEO position is that one person was considering it lost interest because they spoke to a former CEO who said that the town offered no support. Which was an interesting thing to hear, because I know how much we tried to do over the last few years. I'll touch base with that person. And
I did have a conversation with him in the general store.
yeah,
Well, I was in there, actually, I think it was when I was dropping off the donation jar,
yeah,
and he said, let me pick your ear for a little bit.
yeah.
So I just more or less reassured him, that he would have, if he did things the way they were supposed to be done, you would have 100% backing from the board, no questions asked.
Right.
Town manager, I mean, I've extended my skills and mind and helped in several cases, and even gone on site visits and sat
I
down
know.
and read.
I know
So-
absolutely how much you've done, and how much all of us have
All of us,
tried
yeah.
over the last couple of years, and nothing made headway. I was disappointed to hear that.
Yeah, for sure.
Aaron's always spoken with him. I won't.
No, I told him, I was like, feel free to ask any of the other select board members or go into the town office, and, they'll be willing to talk to you, but it wouldn't hurt if you see him, just to, since he mentioned it to you, just bring it up again, so he kind of gets that reinforcement that.
Yeah, can't help, can't hurt. All right, very good. All right, on to our next one, select board reports.
Yeah, a couple things, I guess, both dump related. The dump cameras, Elena, are those working on your phone?
On my phone, no.
Okay,
I can go in playback, but they for some reason I can't get them to show alongside of the town office one. So it's like it will show me the town office ones or the transfer station. It won't show me both of them. So I don't know if it's because it's on my phone, or if maybe I can get this same app or whatever on my laptop, and maybe it will allow me to have both cameras going.
The reason I asked is because it stopped working on Jim's monitor down there.
Oh,
So I would assume, since we paid Seacoast Security to get that back up and running, that it should probably be working.
Well, it was working for a while.
Well, and that Jim said the first time they hooked it up, it worked for a little bit, and then it didn't. Then they came back and it worked for a little bit, and then it didn't.
Okay, so I will make sure that they know that when they come to fix it, that they fixed it for a minute and then it goes back out. I wonder what the issue is that they've had to fix. Like what is happening to make it not work every time.
Never informed Jim of what they were doing or when they were gonna be there, because I guess they showed up one time and couldn't get in, and
They were supposed to come and then they didn't come, and then they randomly, like, it was like on a Monday when nobody was here, they called and left a message and said, we're gonna be there, and I didn't get the message till the next day, and I guess they came, and I don't know, the dump must have been open or something, because there's been some people working down there, but I think on their invoice, it didn't even say what it was, what they
No.
did.
No, and then the communication with them has been terrible, because like I was waiting for them to give me a call back to schedule something, and then next thing I know, Jim's like, oh, they're working, and I'm like, okay, well, thanks for involving me in that process, Seacoast Security. So, all right, I will give them a call tomorrow and see what we can do about that. Also, I have ordered a cell phone camera, trail camera, to put at the gate, because I figured, for $112 or whatever the camera was, is more cost efficient than having Seacoast Security hook up another camera and link it to that, and then have to call them every time it doesn't work and all of that stuff, just so that then, because we thought about putting just a regular trail camera down there, but then you have to go check them. And then if somebody steals it, we'd have no way of knowing it. The only thing is that I'm not sure about is if there's going to be enough cell phone service down there for it to work.
Right.
Say, do we need another camera if the one at the?
I think so because the way, if we had a camera at the gate, we can see what somebody's doing at the transfer station, no matter where they go, or because the way that the cameras are set up at the transfer station, you can see if they pull up to the building and whatnot. But in recent times, we've had people go and be driving out to the burn pile and leaving TVs and stuff out behind the burn pile. So that in tires. So then when Steve goes to light the fire, he's having to pull TVs and tires out of the burn pile.
Yeah.
So I just figured, being able to see them when they first come through the gate, we can see if they're, and we'll be able to, like, they'll be stopped at the gate if the gate's closed or whatever. They'll be stopped there because people have been cutting the locks. Whatever they do, then if they get out of their vehicle, we'll have a full video of their face, their license plate, the whole works. So that's just my idea for now.
Have you ordered the camera?
I have, but I bought it with. Oh, sorry.
No. I was just gonna say my cell phone cameras, if they're close enough to Wi-Fi, I can connect through Wi-Fi and I don't need cell phone.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't have to pay the cellular bill, and since there's internet down there, we should be able to set that up so that I would think that
Mine work like that too.
we could do that, and then
Okay.
you can either go on to live feed through Wi-Fi, or you can it will still
It'll alert you
do the
too.
right.
if there's-
So
Okay.
I do.
One thing I found with those is you don't get every single photo that it captures does not get sent to your phone
Through Wi-Fi or through.
through Wi-Fi or cellular. Because I noticed that on my cameras, deer hunting. You were seeing like this pattern in these same deer, and then all of a sudden there was like these blank spots.
Mm.
Going on with this. And then when I pulled the SD card and stuck it in my phone, I had like 100, 200 more pictures in there.
Check that.
Yeah, the
There are
one-
weird gaps for sure.
Yeah, the security cameras we have that work through the Wi-Fi, they alert me on the phone if there's motion, like delivery truck or anything. And I believe I can adjust the, what do you call it, like the motion sensitive feature on it as well.
Yeah, the security cameras they work differently than the trail cameras. The trail
Yeah,
cameras all
yeah.
have that SD card in.
Yeah. Elena, are you talking like a trail camera or a security camera?
Well, the trail camera, because that's what Steve and I kind of talked about, but I kind of forgot about the whole security cameras thing. I bought the trail camera out of my own money just in case it didn't work. I was just going to keep it.
Okay.
So if we want to try like a security camera piece, like I don't know what one that would be like, I don't know anything about security cameras, but I know that you can buy them like on Amazon or whatever that connect to the internet.
Yeah, it's pretty reasonable.
How much
So maybe that route might be better.
How much was the second camera through Seacoast? Not necessarily at the gate, but on the other side of the building looking at the gate.
How much was it?
I'm just thinking, cost comparison, because you've got a monthly plan with any type of, whether it's a trail camera, security camera, Wi-Fi one. If it's gonna cost us $100 to have Seacoast put in a second camera up, that would still be cheaper than buying into a trail camera, security camera, and then paying that monthly subscription.
Well, I have to call Seacoast tomorrow anyways to get them to come out and look at those cameras. So I can certainly ask them what the price would be. I just know, like for them to come out and fix the cameras the last time, it was $140. So, but then at the same time, You know, like if we are having issues with our security cameras that we buy off Amazon or whatever, we don't have anybody to fix them. So it would be a matter of trying to. So I will ask them just so that we have that kind of information, and I'll just hold on to the trail camera for now because it's not going to go to waste for me anyways. So I'll just hang on to it and even if that's the temporary solution, I'll put it down there for now until we can figure out another situation. But I'll definitely ask them.
Okay, I was just looking at the camera that I bought on Amazon. It was like for one, I have 3 of them, but for one, it's like $67.
Okay.
I mean, it's been reliable, but let's see how that works.
Okay.
Back to you.
Okay, second thing down in the dump. Jim has lost his TV watching capabilities down to the transfer station. He actually got satellite through Barry Level, because Barry had a subscription, which was a combination of his house and his camper. And it was like $5 a month, and Barry's just been paying that $5 a month and put the satellite thing down there. Something has changed with Barry's plan, so that got eliminated. Jim says he doesn't necessarily need a TV down there, but I thought it might be a good gesture where there's Wi-Fi down there. If I'm right with my technology, you can buy a smart TV and get free TV through the Wi-Fi.
Yep, you can. My TV that I bought has like 200 channels that are just like free.
Oh.
And then they include news channels.
Right.
Like it's really,
You can
it was
still
crazy. I
watch
was like,
news.
who even needs to subscribe to anything?
It's free on everything.
I don't have the best Wi-Fi at my house though, so it buffers a lot, so we don't spend a whole lot of time watching that. But if it might be better down there, I mean, all I have is consolidated anyways. We could probably have something fancier down there that might work better.
Like I said, when I asked him about it, he says, yeah, I don't really need TV. When you're sitting down, and when I was down there yesterday during the snowstorm, it was pretty quiet and pretty dead. And even just having that as maybe just background noise or something, but I'm sure there'd be something that you would.
They're not that expensive, I would think.
No, you get a smart TV for
one that would
a couple $100 probably.
Probably
Small
for a
one,
small
For a
one, yeah.
small one, probably, yeah.
if that.
I had a big one and it was only like 600.
What do you think, Elena?
I see no problem with it, and me and Marty can certainly take that and make that happen.
Put a red bow on it.
Yeah, it'd be a Christmas present.
Yeah, we love giving Christmas presents. We gave Steve a grease gun one year.
All right. Anything else?
I think that was it.
Jonathan?
I just have a couple of things. First, I was reading through the 997 solar stuff. Can you get a breakdown from CMP of what a normal draw is at the transfer station, both the day that it's open and the day that it's closed? Is that information you can get from them?
I can certainly try. So like a daily breakdown kind of.
Yeah, I mean, both. I mean, I suppose it could be for a month, but I'm more curious because in one of the correspondences from him, from Vaughn, it says that the generation seems less because of net consumption of the transfer station by directly providing electricity to serve loads during the day. Well, there's not a lot of load on a daily basis. On a weekly basis, maybe. I can't imagine there's a lot of load. So now I'm curious.
Yeah.
What that daily load looks like, both on a day it's open and a day it's closed.
Yeah.
If they can provide you with that, that'd be awesome.
I don't know if it's different with commercial versus residential, but residential, you can go online, get onto your account, and you can see your energy usage
By day?
by day.
There's like a
Okay,
switch.
so maybe we can just log in tomorrow and see if that information is already at our fingertips. I have reached out to them to get some bills for the transfer station from prior to when we had solar to just compare the usage from now and then.
That's awesome.
I just don't have that information right now, but I figured
No,
I'd
that's-
give you what I do have now.
Sure.
That's fine. As I was reading through it, you know, and those questions came up, I thought it would be good information to have before we sit down next Thursday, if possible. Obviously,
Yeah, absolutely.
other things take priority, but if that's an easy thing to put your hands on, that would be awesome.
Absolutely.
Perfect, thank you. The other question that I have is more of a CEO question, but have we had any contact with Gordon Contracting as far as the site that they have on Route 15? What they've got there now, that yard, and if not, I also have it on fairly good authority. One of their employees told me that they intend to put an asphalt plant there, and there have to be some permitting restrictions. I would imagine DEP would have something to say, but I'm more concerned with have they approached the town with for any type of permitting for that site?
No,
It's a rumor, yeah.
no,
Okay.
they haven't. I actually haven't spoken with Gordon at all. I know that I've read a lot of their posts regarding the
Gee.
the ditches, because it's been quite the concern for a lot of people. But other than that, I haven't had any communication from Gordon at all.
I think we should keep an eye on that site only because they may just try to put it
Do it
in
in,
and see what happens, and so.
Would it
Yeah,
be?
yeah, no, I will definitely do
No,
that.
go ahead. Okay, I was gonna say to reach out to them and just be proactive and say, we've heard.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're interested in
I
doing it.
thought James said at the last planning board meeting that he understood Gordon was going to open the plant in Guilford, not in Monson.
Oh,
That
really?
may be the case. I
He said
hadn't.
that last week, so
Cool.
he had mentioned to me that he had heard of this and, oh golly, what were we gonna do? Did we want this to happen? And
Right.
stuff. And it sounds like it's off the table. Now this is,
Hope so. I
Seriously.
mean, I don't really care, I guess, but
yes,
Um,
I'm good friends with the superintendent on that project, Nick Schmiedliner. I'll ask him
Okay,
yeah,
what the plan is.
yeah,
that'd be good just to know
Cool.
for sure.
perfect. That's all I have.
That's all, okay. Well, speaking of roads, I just wanted to, I was mentioning Aaron before the meeting, just give kudos to Chad and his crew. So far, I've noticed our roads being plowed really well. I know there was an exception early
The
on.
first-
And it was a hard call on that, but last night, John and I had to go to Greenville for a meeting, and it was, the DOT had not plowed the main road all the way to Greenville. We went up about 4:30 and it was horrible. Coming back at 7 was even worse. It hadn't been plowed. We turned on Elliotsville Road and it was beautifully plowed. So I just wanted to acknowledge Chad so far on the roads.
Well, I am glad to hear that. I will certainly pass that message along because
So,
normally he hears the opposite, and I only reach out to him when I have a complaint. So I'll be sure to reach out and make sure that he gets that compliment as well.
thank you. And if he could teach DOT, how to plow, that would be really appreciated. But speaking of that, is there a contact? Because I have noticed, not just last night, but earlier in the week, there was another storm in the morning, and I was coming back in the afternoon, and hit Moose Horns, and it was perfectly clear until I hit Moose Horns, and then from there all the way through Monson, probably to Greenville, it isn't cleared as well, and I don't know what's going on, and it's pretty treacherous, especially with the ditching now too. But is there a contact that we have with DOT that we could just give them that feedback?
Well, now that you mention it, since my little interaction with the beach culvert, I have a couple of contacts with DOT now, and a couple of contacts to the supervisor in Shirley, DOT, and I can just reach out to them and say, is there somebody that I should be reaching out to if I have these concerns, and just go from there.
Right, because it goes right through our downtown, but and just those 2 times that I was traveling, there was traffic. People are coming home from work or going to work, and it's treacherous. It's really treacherous.
Yeah, and like you said, with those ditches, I mean, what do they expect? They don't want to clean the roads, and they don't want to have a place for you to safely pull over either. And
If you just stay on the road, you'll be fine.
If you can stay on the road, if they're plowed, right? I know.
That was their advice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was their advice. Yeah, my best advice to you is to just try to stay on the road.
Right.
The problem is people really hug the center line now.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, last night. it was
Probably
like that,
even
but-
worse.
I pretty much had to come to a stop with my tire sitting right on the edge of the road because somebody was coming my way and they weren't getting over, and I knew if I tried driving forward, I was gonna be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think if they, if they can do a good job plowing, it would be a lot safer. It's just, it's
Yeah.
treacherous. Yeah. Anyway, that would be great if you could do that.
Sure
Good job.
thing.
All right, let's see. Have we heard anything more on, speaking of DOT, on the Village Partnership Grant and the process?
So the last time I spoke with that, I think his name is also Mike, actually. The last time I spoke with him, he was mentioning that when they come through next summer, that they would be doing the crosswalks and making the landing and everything for the crosswalks all included in that project. And as far as he knows, there wouldn't be much of a cost share from the town for those because they're already coming through.
Right.
I just went through the process to get the reimbursement back, and we should have that money pretty soon. I'm surprised we haven't had it yet.
There was a check that came today from, it was, I didn't know what it was. Is it like to the tune of $62,000 for something? Cause
Probably.
said DOT something and we didn't ring it in, and I thought maybe it was for that, but I wasn't sure. So we're
Okay.
just. So maybe
Okay,
it's
cool. Well,
Good. Well, the last, when that guy Mike was here, several meetings ago, we had said that we were interested in a la carte kind of thing. We couldn't afford all their stuff that they wanted to do, but we wanted crosswalks, sidewalks, some kind of traffic calming strategies, but we hadn't heard anything back, and I don't want that to fall by the wayside and miss that opportunity. I didn't know what our next thing is supposed to be and when it's due.
like what to do, yeah. I think the only thing, because like the landings and the crosswalks, he said are going to be like included, so to speak. But maybe, reaching out to him and asking more about like what can we do about sidewalks during that process, even if there's a cost share to the town, what would that look like? Just so that we know ahead of time and see if it's something that's even feasible for us to do.
And can I just point out that the sidewalk by the Lakeshore House near where they replaced one of the storm drains last year is even worse than it was. I mean, it's just totally falling in.
Yeah,
And this is, it appears to me that this is the fault of this DOT for not correctly installing those drains. I could be wrong because I'm not an expert.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
yeah. It's hard walking on those sidewalks, especially when there's ice and snow now. I hate to keep using the word treacherous, but yeah. So anyway, if you could reach out at some point to Mike, that'd be great.
Yep.
Okay. Sorry, put another one thing on your plate there.
That's okay.
Have we, speaking of grants, any news on the fire station grant?
I think that is actually on the agenda.
It is.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
That's
I'm looking
okay.
at that. Okay, let's wait on that. Last meeting, I know I mentioned about previous select board minutes. They're not accessible on the town website. Like if you click on them, they don't open up. So
Yeah,
is that does?
that's something that I completely forgot to mention to Jade. And the reason why they're on there is because she like lists them on the agenda, on the website, so that she doesn't like forget to upload the meeting minutes. But what happens is sometimes like the approved meeting minutes comes to me and Marty and they just go in the book, and so we don't actually hand them to Jade and say, here, put these on the website now, or these are approved or whatever. So she just might not have gotten them to put them on there.
Okay.
So I will mention that to her tomorrow.
Okay, appreciate that. Let's see. And just, I don't know if I should mention now, was there anything done for our firefighter that had a fire?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, what did Jim bring up today?
$59 and some change, so in that envelope, there's like $176. I think the EMT class that he goes to, they raised $1,200.
Oh, good.
I know that Chuck took up a collection at the department's meeting on Tuesday. I don't know what he got. Somebody else said that someone had donated $1,000, but I don't know if that was the same money that was raised by the EMT class or if it was a person.
Was there a donation jar that?
Yes, well, for us, we had one at the general store, Robinson's, and down at the transfer station.
I'd like to put it too, so. Okay, I was just curious. I hadn't heard any more. And are we gonna meet with Jim about transfer station at some point?
It's on, yes.
Was that on here?
February, I think.
Yeah.
Did it? Okay,
Before budget.
before budget.
is
Yeah,
what we just.
Before budget meeting.
Okay, all right. Is that all I had? I think that's all I had. Okay, I'm done. All right, next. Beautification town committees. Sandra?
Okay, since I'm here, beautification, we had a booth at Chris Kringle, that went well. We started our seed sale fundraising program, kicked that off at Chris Kringle, and there's been good interest so far. The town will get 50 to 60% of what we sell dollar-wise, so it's a really easy fundraiser for us. If you need seeds for your garden, stop by the town office and get the order form. Please. I'm looking at you here, Aaron. You need a garden.
I need time for a garden.
Time for a garden.
Anyway, we'll see how this goes. It was a try it and let's see what works, and we'll see. Collaborative, I can report that we have a new chair in Ray O'Leary. Rachel O'Leary lives down the end of Water Street, and a new secretary, Charlene Fearnley, who lives up in Tyler's house up by the solar farm. They are working on increasing the collaborative's reach to community organizations. We've been trying to do that all along, but in a sort of half-hearted manner. So they're really focusing on that. And there's a strategic planning session planned for early January, so we can figure out just what it is the collaborative wants to accomplish and go from there. So
All right.
That
thank
is
you.
all I have.
I'll just add beautification. Jade ordered our new town banners.
I knew
that-
I'd forget that. Yes,
Yes,
with the
yeah,
snow roller. Yeah.
Snow roller. So we're really excited to see these banners. They were designed by the students at TCTC
Oh, cool.
Graphic Arts Program.
Did they
We
know what a snow roller was?
well, we had to help a little bit, and we had to enlarge it and get rid of some trees so you could really see the snow roller,
Awesome.
so as you're going by in a car. So once those are in, I'll talk my husband into putting them up with me, or putting.
Putting them up.
We'll get those up, definitely within the month. I think they should be here. So,
Nice.
all right, thank you, Sandra.
Thank you, Sue.
And we don't have any cemetery or
Did you see the update from cemetery? He emailed us. when
Yeah.
They reset some of the stones and
yes.
their
Yeah.
process worked and.
That was a lot of work, yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I kind of have an update on rec committee. It appears that all of the members of the rec committee are members of the collaborative now. And I
That's
pointed
not
out,
entirely true, because my wife was on the rec committee.
well,
She's been booted out.
Maybe she's been booted
Yeah.
off.
I don't know. I pointed out that the rec committee is an appointed town committee and kind of needs to be separate from the collaborative. We don't want to be stepping on legislative toes here. So
Is Dana part of was she at the collaborative?
she was at the collaborative meeting. Cassie was not. And you're right, Stacy wasn't, but anyway, there's been some discussion of getting the rec committee actually moving and doing, but I'm trying to make sure I'm not part of that process. Just somebody else can do that part. Thank you very much.
Boundaries, right. All right, thanks, Sandra. Elena, did you have anything on the CEO reports?
Just what I had included in my report. It was a quiet month for permitting, thankfully. I mentioned last month that I was working with somebody to fill out a dirt moving permit in the shoreline zoning, but it turns out they never actually came in and paid for the permit or so officially filed the permit. So I did reach out to the contractor because if something doesn't happen, then the contractor can be fined and the homeowner can be fined. So I did let them know that, and I sent the owners a certified letter, and I also sent Tyler Adkins a certified letter about the demolition of the barn and the mobile home that happened on Water Street. And just slowly getting my feet under me to make sure that I'm doing the right things in the right areas. And of course, Brian's been helping me as much as he can.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Yeah,
Sure.
that's one more hat for you right now.
I know.
All right, on to old business, old business, old fire truck.
Old fire truck. So we actually have an offer on the old fire truck for $6,500, and it is from the Dixmont and or Plymouth Fire Department. So I told them I would pass the information on to you guys, and that we would have some sort of answer for them. We actually had quite a few people reach out to us this week. East Machias, but they were Dixmont and Plymouth were like, we're showing up, we have a check in hand, we'll give it to you today. And Chuck's like, whoa, we have to, there's channels we have to go through. He's like, but so do with that
65.
information as you would.
What was
What was
that
that?
dollar amount?
6,500.
Yeah.
Oh, 65.
65, okay.
What was the asking price?
10 or best offer.
I mean, I just see the scrap value in it, which is way more. But
Right.
I'd rather
see it gone.
I'd rather see it gone. I'd rather see it go to I mean, I hope they're not gonna turn around and sell it for scrap.
That, I guarantee you, that's probably exactly what they're thinking, knowing people from that area.
But
because Dixmont, they only have, their engine is a 2-seater, cab. And so they're really looking for more room. And then Plymouth was going to use it as their secondary engine.
But it's not even inspectable
Right.
or drivable.
You know, they came and looked at it all over, and they asked to drive it and all of that stuff. So that's up to them what they do.
So who else? East Machias was interested?
Yep. And as far as I know, East Machias, I'm not sure what they planned on doing with it, but they said that they would probably be offering around 5,000.
so confused how people can put it into service when we had to take it out of service, but I suppose they don't.
Well, I mean, in comparison, depending on, all fire departments are hurting, and so maybe they're hurting a little bit more than us, and this might be a step up from what they have. I don't know.
No, I get it. It was more a comment on the larger picture, the fact that
Right.
the truck is still serviceable. Like, it's an interesting thing. I mean, I guess I don't see any reason to hang on to it, but
No, because we might not get another offer anyhow.
not a real offer. If they really are check in hand.
I would have liked to have seen it in some other advertised places. Like I had mentioned before, that Fire Trader magazine that goes to every single fire department up and down the East Coast.
Sure.
It was just on Marketplace, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cause I know when I was doing a job for the Rockwood Fire Department, was talking with their guys, and it was back when we were first looking at trucks. And he said, oh, well, this is where we find all of ours, and he pulled it out, and there was a couple of other magazines, but the Fire Trader was the big one. And, I mean, it was a book that thick of used fire trucks.
Right. But I suppose, what do we think? If Plymouth has a use for it, they'll give us 6,500.
If they show up tomorrow with a check
Check.
in hand,
Elena,
here's the keys.
what does Chuck think?
I mean, Chuck just wants to see it gone at this point, because now it needs new batteries, which they know. And if you turn on one of the sirens, it dies because the battery or something. I don't even know. So he's just like, get rid of it, get it out from out back. Let's not plow around it. Because it took him a little while to get it going the other day too. So.
Well, then I guess, do we need to make a motion to accept the offer from
Yeah.
Dixmont? So I'd make a motion to accept the $6,500 offer on the old fire truck from Dixmont, Plymouth.
I'll second that. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Goodbye,
All
fire
right.
truck, we hope.
Bye-bye, Chuck. Good, and that money will go into the fire department's, how does that work? What?
It would go into their truck reserve.
Reserve, okay.
Good.
Very good.
Wish it was a lot more, but
I know.
it's the reality, so.
All right. Fire station grant.
Oh,
What's
okay.
next?
So I will just, hang on just a second. I'm going to just share with you the email that I received back from Senator King's office. This is from, his name is Adam. He works in the office, and he says, Congress continues to work on passing a full year appropriations bill for FY26 that covers all the appropriations subcommittee accounts. The current continuing resolution runs out at the end of January 2026. As the negotiations continue, Senator King is advocating for the for Congress to pass a complete FY26 appropriations bill with the 2026 congressionally directed spending projects included. This would apply to the Monson Fire Department project. We will have more to share about the status of these negotiations later in January, and we'll be sure to keep you in the loop with any developments, positive or negative. Please don't hesitate to be in touch with any questions. So we're still in limbo, so to speak, but at least it's not a no yet.
I hope you're not holding your breath that Congress is gonna get something done, but
When they-
that's encouraging. I mean, I guess.
When they say they're entering
Right.
negotiations.
I don't think there's much negotiation.
Right. So unfortunately, I wish I had better news. I was really,
It's better than flat out no.
Right. And I also talked with Edie Smith on the phone, and she said that she knows that. Well, she said our building is in dire need, and that she will reach out to some other people to see if there's some other grants that we can apply for. If this doesn't work out, she says that if it's not funded, that she will help us in any way she can to get funding elsewhere.
Okay, well, that's good.
Good.
Awesome.
So there's that.
All right, on to new business.
Sure.
Open gym / and parking lot requirements.
So it was sort of addressed already. I think word might have gotten to Sue. I asked Elena to put this on the agenda. The parking lot has not been getting plowed when kids show up to get on the bus. They've been plowing while kids are there. I think it's a safety issue. I think it's also, the med center opens up, but I think Sue must have gotten wind of it because this morning it was all plowed and ready to go when the kids showed up. So the other issue that's been happening for some reason this year is the bus has been late on several occasions. Last week when it was so cold, there's no place for the kids to get out of the wind and the cold. They could technically, I think, the med center is open, but I don't think they want a bunch of kids going in and standing in the doorway. I don't know if it's feasible for the gym to be opened on days when it's cold. I mean, by either myself, my wife, just for the kids to wait. They go when they go, it's the door closed behind them and it's locked. It seemed like an easy solution, but I just wanted to get thoughts on that.
I don't have a problem with it, provided somebody's going to
Supervise.
kind of monitor.
That's the
it.
one thing I can't speak to, and so if we could find a monitor that would make, it would probably alleviate any concerns, because you don't want kids running around like crazy.
No, especially in the wintertime, tracking big chunks of snow in on the floor and then it just sitting there melting and then nobody notices it for a week.
I will see what I can do to find a parent that's waiting anyway with their kids. Some do, like my wife can't, she has to get to Dexter, and so she drops them or they walk up. But if there was a parent that's there anyway, that would be willing to.
And I don't know if we want kids they'll see an open gym and want to run everywhere.
That's what I
in the
mean,
booths.
right.
So it just, that adult just needs to know to keep them near the door, I guess.
Yeah, and it would only be on days when, I know schools, I forget what the temperature cutoff is when kids can't go outside.
Some schools are 15, but I think Guilford was lower than that. I would say.
Because they won't.
Yeah, here in Milo, it's 10 degrees.
Right, so I think it would only be, based on the, it wouldn't be every day, it would be occasionally. But I will see what I can do, if that seems like a viable option, if we can find somebody to monitor. I'll see what I can do to find someone.
I think that same thing got brought up at one point and somebody had mentioned maybe having Steve unlock it and didn't think that.
Wasn't it for walking in the morning?
I think.
Was it for walking?
I think so. I think it was for adults to
Yeah.
walk. I think.
Yeah, I think I remember that too.
We can get an adult that would sort of oversee it, and it would only, like I said, it would only be a few days a year.
Right. And that adult would just have to use their judgment and
I think so.
what days. We'll let you work that out.
I'll see if I can find someone. I mean, the other option would be to just tell them to go into the entryway of the med center, but I'm not sure that's a
Or
real.
even just on the outside of that door where it's a little protected.
Yeah,
I don't know.
right.
How many kids are we talking about?
I
Yeah.
don't read. Kids.
If I don't put my ice shack on, I'll just haul it up there.
Yeah.
Heater on in there.
We could buy that, it's got for sale, but I know he wants 26,000, so I think there's probably cheaper ways to do it.
Speaking of the parking lot up there, because I saw that on the agenda and I didn't know it was your thing, but we had talked, or Elena, you had talked last year about the plowing and how Lieber was charging us because they have to have, what was the other thing they have to do?
Security.
So
Slip
walk
check.
or a slip check.
Yeah,
So-
slip check every single day.
Was that
And-
all? Yeah.
Yeah, so when I talked with Sue, you know, I told her I have no problem paying for the half of when he's plowing or standing and salting, even though he's not standing and salting in front of the gym. But that's neither here nor there. But the slip check at $18 a day, I'm just, we don't need that. And he's not slip checking for the gym, he's slip checking for the medical building. So, as far as I know, I think we're on the same page. I'll double check with her to make sure that we are on the same page. But as far as I know, when at the end of the season, I did have that conversation with her, and I just, you know, said like, that's a lot of money for the town to be paying for something that we're not getting the benefit.
Right. Is it a monthly bill or how do they bill?
Yeah, it's monthly.
Okay, so we should be able to
Should be
tell.
seeing November's pretty soon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Haven't done anything yet.
okay. So let's keep an eye on that one.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, down to B, fundraising.
Which we kind of already talked about this. This was the fundraising for Brian. I just didn't want to put like fundraising for Brian right on the agenda because I didn't you know want to put all attention on him and make him feel like oh. So we kind of already touched base about that. Is there anything else you want to add or discuss?
I don't think so. Well, we just had miscellaneous, the tree growth.
Yep.
Yep.
I did remember.
I did too. All right, perfect. So, it's just a tree growth penalty. Pass it on.
Who we hitting up today?
Can't remember. I don't think it was anybody that I knew.
Daniel and Mary Jane Gilbert.
North Guilford. 747, North Guilford.
It's closer to town.
4.3 acres taken out tree growth. Oh, so they're voluntarily taking it out, okay. So we sign right here. Do I have to make a motion on this?
No.
Okay. I never know sometimes. All right. Well, 4.5 acres, that's a lot of penalty,
Actually, it was smaller than I thought it was gonna be
really.
when I looked at it, yeah.
I can't remember, we had like 8 acres.
Cause usually anytime I hear about those things, they're like $5,000. I don't know
Yeah.
what they're taking out, but.
Yeah. All right. Anything else? Right. I think we're good. Elena, how are you feeling, by the way?
I like crap, but making it.
Sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. I feel better that I get to sit here in my comfy clothes and answer your guys' questions than have to make that hour drive have to
Yeah.
put real clothes on and have that whole. So this worked out much better. And plus, I don't want to, share the love because then you'll probably just give it back to me. So
I know, I was gonna say selfishly, I'm glad you're there too.
yeah, I bet.
Okay, did you have anything else? We're
No,
good?
I'm all set.
All right, so we will meet next week to meet with Vaughn and then have an exec session next week. Okay,
Perfect.
all right.
Sounds good.
All
Feel
right,
better.
thank you. Take
Thank
care.
you.
Motion to adjourn.
Seconded.
Second, all in favor?
Yep.
All right, 7:23.
Good night, everybody.
Night.
Bye.
See you tomorrow.